Hamilton secured a superb 99th F1 pole after edging out Red Bull's Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen in a frantic and closely fought Imola GP qualifying. I would say the actual name, but it's too complicated for me. Hamilton had been quiet throughout the Imola weekend, but burst into form in Saturday's shootout with his first Q3 lap at 1:14.4, enough to hold off the competition as the seven-time world champion single-handedly carried the fight for Mercedes against F1's charging bulls. Hamilton was just 0.035 ahead of Perez, who out-qualified Verstappen on just his second race weekend for Red Bull. "I definitely didn't expect us to be ahead of the two Red Bulls," said Hamilton. "They have been so quick this weekend." Perez, who will start in the front row for the first time in his 192 F1 race career, said, "I should have been on pole today." Verstappen finished 0.087 back, beaten fair and square by his teammate qualifying for the first time since 2016, which is a surprise, but he did make a small error on his lap, which I think probably would have seen him at least above Perez. Charles Leclerc qualified fourth as in a major surprise. Valtteri Bottas could only manage 8th in the other Mercedes. The Finn, who was on pole at Imola last year and topped both Friday sessions, made mistakes on both his crucial Q3 laps. Pierre Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris will all start ahead of Bottas for Sunday's race, although Norris was downbeat after the session as he had a quick final lap deleted for infringing Imola track limits. Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll were 9th and 10th as the young pair out-qualified their multiple world champion teammate, with Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel knocked out in Q2. Carlos Sainz was another shock exit for Ferrari in Q2. Both Williams made it through to Q1 for the first time since the third race of 2020, although the segment was overshadowed somewhat by a big session-ending crash for AlphaTauri rookie Yuki Tsunoda. Today's qualifying was thrilling from start to finish as drivers were pushed to their limits around Imola, a narrow old school and, as shown with Tsunoda's early shunt, unforgiving circuit. It all looked to be heading towards a Mercedes v Verstappen finale as Hamilton and Bottas proved evenly matched to Max Verstappen, but Bottas was nowhere near his rivals when it mattered most, and a head-to-head battle between Hamilton and Verstappen, just like in Bahrain 3 weeks ago, maybe on hold too. Hamilton left the door open for the Red Bulls after failing to improve on his final lap, but Verstappen only found 4/100ths of a second, which left the opportunity to Perez. Both Red Bulls were in a 10th of Hamilton and both felt they could have done better. "It was a really scrappy lap," said Verstappen. "I haven't had that in a long time." But all is certainly not lost for F1 2021 early favourite Red Bull, who have had a major advantage for Sunday's race due to Bottas being down the order. This means Verstappen, who so often has been left alone to battle with Mercedes over the last years, has now put a pressure on Hamilton, with Perez set to start on soft tyres. The top 8 from qualifying were split by less than half a second as 2021's new rules continue to bring the field closer together. This means Charles Leclerc will have a tough ask of keeping midfield rivals at bay without the assistance of a teammate, while McLaren's Lando Norris will be a particular threat after missing out on a Verstappen beating qualifying time after exceeding track limits by a foot. It looks set to be a thrilling second race of the 2021 F1 season. Before I go, I'll run through the order. Lewis Hamilton, what can you say about him? Just an absolutely outstanding lap. Perez, a huge for him. He did look like he was struggling, but pulled that nap out of nowhere. Max will be disappointed. Both Charles Leclerc and Gasly will be definitely very happy with their times. Ricciardo in 6th, I doubt he'll be happy. He's been off the pace, but obviously got in front of Lando due to that iffy lap. Bottas bitterly disappointed because he's had a fairly solid weekend. Both Ocon and Stroll will be happy to get into Q3. Sainz will be definitely disappointed to miss out, as will Vettel and Alonso with their teammates going through. But the Williams look really solid, and this is probably one of their better chances to score points. The Alfa Romeos just haven't had the same pace that they had in Bahrain, and obviously the Haas are the Haas. I think we'll have to get used to them. Yuki, I do feel sorry for, because obviously he did have a big tank slapper, but I think the damage it caused was probably over proportionate. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave me your thoughts in the comments down below, and to follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily F1 news, and subscribe to my channel on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out!